Okay, red button means we're live. Some casual takes with your boy Stephen Pepper, here to give some takes off my chest. Recording this right after the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Dallas Mavericks in game 4 to stay alive and force a game 5 on their home court in the Western Conference Finals. So let's talk about it. How did the Timberwolves fight for another game? Well, it's what I've been talking about all series. The difference in this series is simple. It's been the duos. Both teams have played 2 games at home, and the role players have been relatively good. The difference has been Kyrie and Luka have outplayed Ant and Cat, particularly in the clutch. And what's crazy to me is that the Wolves have led all 4 games around the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. But it was 3-0 coming into last night because the Wolves duo let the Mavs duo win the game every single time. But tonight, with their backs against the Wolves duo finally stepped up. And it starts with Cat. Cat, who was an unserious fourth quarter player in the first 3 games. I mean, he scored a measly 5 points combined on 2 of 12 shooting and 1 from 8 from 3. But last night, Mr. 1,500 shots started to hit some shots. And he hit big three after big three after big three to keep the distance from Dallas. And he finished that quarter with 10 points. And then Ant, who I was told was MJ's son. And he has been nothing like MJ, disappearing in the clutch time in the first 3 games. But tonight, he said, I got this. It was more aggressive and hit the big shot with under a minute to put the team up 5. That's the difference in the series. It's been the duos. The difference has been the duos. The duo of Luka and Kyrie have been better than Ant and Cat. Here's your stats on the series between the duos. In the first 3 games, Ant and Cat have combined it for 37 points per game on just 33% from the field. Whereas Luka and Kyrie outplayed them. 60 points per game on 50% from the field. That's 23 more points from Luka and Kyrie to Ant and Cat on 27% better from the field, just outplaying them. But in game 4, how they do it, they just played better than them. They just played. Ant and Cat had 54 points on 56% shooting tonight, whereas Luke and Kyrie just 44 points on 33% from the field. 10 more points, 23% better from the field. That's going to get you a win. For Dallas, it's hard to beat a good team 4 times in a row. It's just hard to sweep them. This is a team, number 1 defense, Anthony Edwards a star, all this talent, just beat the defending champions in 7 games. It's hard to beat a team 4 times in a row. But if you're Minnesota, this is good momentum to go into game 5 to just win one more in your home turf. No one's come back from down 3-0 before. Again, I got Dallas still winning the series. I said earlier today, even if they drop tonight, I would pick Dallas to still win the series because it's such a huge hole to climb. But you can get one more. Because knowing that now you finally had your duo out-clutch the Mavs in a tight game. You finally won a game where you had the lead in the final 5 minutes of the game. And I called it. I called it today. I was with my friend. We were at the gym right before the game. We were hitting a back day. And, me and him, we gamble here and there. And we were talking about the game. We were talking about who we thought was going to win the game. And he didn't think Minnesota was going to win. He thought it was just going to be a Mav sweep. But I said, if Minnesota wanted to stay alive and force a game 5 on their home court, they could only win one way. And it's if Cat had 25 points or more. And damn it, I didn't place the bet. I should have. This man Cat had 25 points on the dot. And that's how they won, which is huge for Minnesota. Because Minnesota is 5-1 when Cat has at least 20 points or more in these playoffs. He needs to help Ant. Ant's like, I need help. The role players for Minnesota have been good. They've had 2 games at home. Anthony Edwards is getting better by the game. It's been up to Cat. It's been up to Cat, Mr. 1,500 shots, all-NBA, all-star level player, to hit some shots. And he was big for them tonight. Anthony Edwards also had his best game. Him and Cat put it all together, had their best game of the series, and that's why they're forcing a game 5. Because the difference in this series has been the duo of Luke and Kyrie have been better than the duo of Cat and Ant. But tonight, Minnesota stays alive because it was their duo this time that was better than Dallas's. Okay, I want to switch to this. Switch this for a second. We'll talk a little bit about Bronny James. I don't know about you guys, but the way Bronny is moving during the draft process is so bizarre. So much so that it's getting obvious that it's Klutch, not Bronny. You know, his dad's group, his dad's camp, led by Rich Paul, are the ones who are calculating all Bronny's moves. Like this new Shams report. According to Shams, Bronny is only working out for 2 to 3 teams, despite having 10 invites. And my initial thought to that report was, whoa, declining workouts at the level of prospect Bronny is nasty work. I mean, does bro think he's Caleb Williams, only working out with the Bears because only the Bears are going to draft him? Bronny shouldn't be declining workouts. But then I thought about it, and I looked at the teams that he's going to work out with. Well, who are they, you may ask? It's the Lakers and the Suns, the 2 teams that are favored to sign LeBron in the offseason. And then I also remembered Rich Paul saying, yeah, Bronny ain't going to do all that 2-way contract stuff. And then Bronny also not fully committed yet. Bronny also hasn't fully committed whether he's going to go into the draft or go back to school. But this thing leaves me all confused because I thought LeBron said it's not a priority to play with his son anymore. And I also thought Bronny said that he wants to create his own lane. So what is it? Well, to me, I think Klutch, not Bronny, is moving behind the scenes to align father and son to play with each other next season, despite what they've all been saying publicly. And, you know, if they don't make it work, hey, Bronny can just go back to school. If they don't feel like Lakers or the Suns are going to draft him, Bronny goes back to school, which will be better for him, which I think he should do, become a bit of a better player, and then have more freedom in mock drafts, probably get drafted higher. And then LeBron, if it doesn't work, opts back into the Lakers, plays his final year out, and then next offseason, he's a full, unrestricted free agent to play anywhere he wants. So wherever Bronny gets drafted, probably more teams want to draft him if he comes back for one more year. LeBron can go anywhere. But, you know, you guys know I'm a huge Bronny supporter. Part of that's because I'm a huge Bronsexual, but I think there's some merit into Bronny getting drafted as a 3-and-D prospect. You saw him at the combine, tested well, 40-inch vertical, great athleticism, hit a lot of shots in all those drills. He can be a bit of a shooter. He had player of the game in one of the scrimmages. But, man, this narrative that he's only going to get drafted because teams really just want to sign his dad, this doesn't help at all. And if you're Bronny, right, because he said during the combine interviews that his focus is to create his own lane, and he just wants to get to the league because that's his dream. Well, Bronny, if you want to get to the league, at the level of prospect you are, it's kind of dumb to decline all these workouts. It kind of is, bro. Because if you're not a top prospect, you got to go to every workout because your stock can only go up. Guys like Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr. in the NFL, I'm only going to work out for Arizona. I'm only going to work out for Chicago. That happens when you're a top prospect because the more workouts you can do, your stock can only go down the more workouts you've done. But a guy like Bronny, when you could damn near go undrafted, you need all the eyeballs you can get. But I don't think this is Bronny's decision because I think if Bronny truly wanted to create his own lane, he would work out for any team. I think this is Klutch. This has Klutch written all over it. Rich Paul, probably LeBron, saying, hey, you know, let's meet paths. Bronny, I know you want to get to the league. I think your best chance of getting in the league is if you join my team. But I want to go to one or two teams. The Lakers, who I think he's going to re-sign with, or this dark horse that is coming out of nowhere, now the second favorite to sign LeBron, the Phoenix Suns. LeBron saying, Rich Paul, let's match both paths. You want to get in the NBA? Well, the only really way you're going to get in the NBA is if you play on my team. And I want to play for the Lakers or the Suns. So you're going to work out for the Lakers or the Suns. That's what it feels like. Because if Bronny truly wanted to create his own lane, well, I'd go back to school. But I would work out with every team, get any eyeballs possible. But this screams Klutch, LeBron's group, LeBron's camp, Bron himself, moving in silence. Although they publicly stated they weren't influencing Bronny's decision, come on, man. Lakers and Suns, make it less obvious. Make it less obvious that you aren't moving LeBron. You're not making moves for Bronny. But I appreciate everyone for tuning into this episode of Some Casual Takes. I'll be back. Oh, there will not be a game tomorrow because the Celtics swept the Pacers. I'll be back Thursday night, Friday, or morning, depending on when I post it, to talk about Game 5 of the Mavs Timberwolves. Until then, Some Casual Takes is my social medias. That's my handle for all things, and I'll see you then.